Today I'm going to show you the best corrective exercises that you can do at home to fix your anterior pelvic tilt. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's Blake Bowman here with Gorilla Zen Fitness, and in today's video I'm coming at you with 3 supersets, which are exercises done back to back that will help you correct your anterior pelvic tilt. All of these require little to no equipment, and you can do them at home. What you will need is a foam roller. We'll use this to release some of the muscles that are associated with anterior pelvic tilt and are going to be tight. But that's pretty much it. Other than that, you're not going to need much of anything else. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Let's get into the exercise. Okay, so this first superset that we're going to do combines 2 exercises. One is a hip flexor stretch with glute priming, followed by something called an RKC plank. And here's how to do them both, okay? To do the hip flexor stretch, which is addressing the tight muscles associated with the anterior pelvic tilt, put one knee down and plant the other foot out in front of you like this, okay? From here, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your pelvis does not tilt forwards and your back does not arch inwards. You're actually going to do the opposite. You're going to posteriorly tilt the pelvis, so you're taking it out of this frontal tilted position that you're in, and you're pulling it back, flattening your lower back, squeezing your butt, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to rock forward, squeeze that glute really hard, and then come back. Rock forward until you really feel a deep stretch, come back. Rock forward, squeezing that glute, making sure the low back stays flat, and come back, okay? You're going to do this for 15 repetitions on both sides, okay? So I'm not going to do this side, but you would switch and do the same thing on the other side, okay? This is going to help, like I said, stretch the hip flexors and also inhibit them and also strengthen the glutes. It'll get that neurological drive going into the glutes. It'll help you turn them on later in this workout that I'm going to show you, okay? So you're going to do that for about 15 each side, and then you're going to superset it with RKC plank, which is also a plank also known as a plank with a posterior pelvic tilt, okay? So normally you're going to probably default when you do a plank to this position. Your lower back's going to arch. You're really going to feel your back tightening up because you have an anterior pelvic tilt. If you're watching this, what you're going to do with this is you're simply going to do the opposite. You're going to tuck the pelvis underneath you, really squeeze the abs, and squeeze your glutes extremely hard, and even flatten your lower back while doing this, okay? This is an RKC plank. This is like a normal plank or a plank. It's not normal, but this might be what you default to. This is what you're going for in an RKC plank, okay? Again, these exercises all synergize with each other. So that first superset, just to go over it again, is basically 15 of these, okay? Hip flexor stretch with glute priming, okay? You're gonna do that immediately again on the other side, okay? 15. And then as soon as you've done 15 on each side, you're going to get into that plank with that posterior pelvic tilt. Keep the rest of your back flat. Keep your head pushed up, shin down. Okay, like this. Keep the tongue in the roof of your mouth. For that, you're going to do 4 sets. Okay, so 4 sets of 15 of the hip flexor stretch, and when you get onto the RKC plank, you're going to hold that for a minimum of 30 seconds. All right, so this next superset of exercises, we're going to combine a posterior pelvic tilt hip thrust with an anti-extension push-up variation, okay? And I'll show you what that looks like right now. So again, posterior tilt is the exact opposite of an anterior tilt. Anterior pelvic tilt means your pelvis is tilted forwards. The way you fix that is you spend as much time in a posterior pelvic tilt as possible. So we're gonna do something that works the glutes here and stretches the hip flexors, which is exactly what you need if you have an anterior pelvic tilt. But we're going to do this with a posterior pelvic tilt. So you're going to start this exercise by laying on your back with your feet planted on the floor. You're going to grab your pelvis with both your hands and pull it up like this. This is just a cue to yourself to remind you to keep your pelvis tilted like this. Your lower back should be flat, flush against the floor here. What you're going to do right now is maintain that posterior pelvic tilt and thrust your hips up in the air, squeezing your glutes. You're driving your knees out to the side, making sure you're not arching inwards from the lower back, and then you come back down like this, okay? Keeping that posterior pelvic tilt the whole time. Do not sacrifice the position of your pelvis by tilting it forward just so that you can go up a little bit higher, okay? That's gonna be working against you, not for you. So posteriorly tilt that pelvis, maintain it the whole time, drive the knees out away from each other and squeeze your glutes at the top. Maintaining that posterior pelvic tilt might take a little bit away from the height, but that's not what we're concerned about here. We're concerned with activating the glutes, your butt muscles, and stretching the hip flexors, and you're going to do that most effectively if you maintain that posterior pelvic tilt while you're doing this, okay? So again, we're going to be doing 4 sets of that. We're going to be supersetting that with, this exercise is kind of advanced. If you can't do this, just go back to the RKC plank. That'll be fine. But this is what I call like a push-up, anti-extension push-up variation, okay? So normally in a push-up you would start with your hands directly underneath your shoulders and you would maintain a nice neutral position with the rest of your spine, okay? The spinal thing stays the same, except you're gonna start with your hands out in front of you, like this, okay? And what you're gonna do here is you're gonna drop down to your elbows and then push back up onto your hands, just like this. However, you're maintaining that neutral low back. You're not excessively arching the low back, okay? If this is causing your back pain or it's causing your back to tighten up more, it's probably because you don't have the strength in the core in order to do this properly and it's too advanced for you. So in that case, I would recommend you go back to RKC plank, okay? An RKC plank can even be modified by doing it on your knees, okay? But coming back to this, you're gonna essentially do 15 reps of posterior pelvic tilt hip thrusts, okay? As soon as you hit 15, you're gonna roll over immediately and you're gonna bust out 15 of these, keeping your abs tight, keeping your butt tight, and making sure that that lower back stays flat. 4 sets of 15 for each of those. Okay, so this last superset is gonna train the obliques, which is another group of muscles that are typically gonna be weak in people that have an anterior pelvic tilt, so that's why I included this in there. We're gonna do something called flapjacks, and we're gonna superset it with an isometric side plank, okay? I do wanna make mention that if you're feeling this in your hip flexors, specifically this muscle, like off to a 45-degree angle on the front of your hip here, we don't wanna be feeling this there, and these exercises can activate that muscle. If you are feeling that muscle, take a foam roller or a water bottle, okay, and simply just roll that muscle out in between sets of these exercises, or at the very beginning and another one halfway through. But that will inhibit that muscle from firing a little bit so that we can turn on the side of your hip, the glutes back here, and your obliques, which is what we're trying to hit with this exercise, okay? So to do this first one, called flapjacks, you're basically gonna lay on your side, okay? You're gonna rest your head on your bicep, like this, okay? You're gonna take one arm, the arm closest to the ceiling goes overhead. You're going to simultaneously bring that towards midline as you're also doing the same thing with the leg that's closest to the ceiling, and you're gonna kind of sit up into it and like karate chop your leg, like that, okay? Come down, sit up, karate chop your leg, okay? You wanna keep your whole body sideways as you're doing this, and this is pretty much it. You're really activating the obliques here. You're really thinking about turning this on and your glute medius, the kind of backside of the side of your hip, okay? Those are the muscles that are directly being worked with this. Again, if you need to foam roll that tensor fasciae lata muscle out, which is that muscle adjacent to your hip, or right off to the side at 45 degrees, then go ahead and do that in between sets. But this is basically how you do it. You should really be feeling this in your obliques big time, right here in the love handle region, okay? So you're gonna do 4 sets of 15 with that, okay? Right here, 15 of these. As soon as you're done with the right side, you're immediately gonna roll over, put that right elbow down, and lift your hips up like this, okay? Right here, I'm squeezing the obliques again on the right side. You're gonna hold that for 30 seconds, all right? So basically, right side, left side. So what it would look like in real time is you're gonna do 4 sets of 15, followed by 4 sets of 30 seconds on the side plank. So what that would look like, let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 15 on this side, switch, 30 seconds here. Okay, that's 1 set on the on that side, and then I would do 15 reps here on the other side. Okay, as soon as I'm done here, I would roll over to the left, lift the hips up here, hold this for 30 seconds. That would be 1 complete set. We're gonna do, since this is a unilateral exercise, it's working 1 side at a time, we're gonna do 4 sets each side, which comes out to 8 sets in total. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like down below, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you want to see me make videos on in the future. Also, If you're not following me on Instagram yet, make sure you do that because I upload exclusive content there that I don't share anywhere else. You'll get a kind of glimpse into my personal life and other things that I'm experimenting with health and fitness wise. If you want more stuff on anterior pelvic tilt, how to correct it, then you need to download my anterior pelvic tilt workout. Okay, this is a lot more comprehensive than what I went over here today. Some of these exercises are the same, but this is a full lower body workout that integrates a lot of corrective exercises for anterior pelvic tilt. You can do this just when you train your legs, and it will help you actively correct your anterior pelvic tilt. This workout is free. I put it together. It's available on my website. All you have to do to get access to this workout is click the first link in the description box down below this video, or the first pinned comment in the comment section. That will be a link to my website. As soon as you click that, it'll take you over to my website, and I'll ask you for your email once you arrive there. Once you enter in your email, I will send you the workout within 5 minutes. If you're looking for another place to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can click this. Just remember to click the bell icon after you've clicked that. And if you're looking for another place to get my anterior pelvic tilt workout, you can click this. And if you want to see more videos like this that I've made in the past on anterior pelvic tilt, then go ahead and click this. That's it for today. I'll see you next time.